This is the first in a series of several messages that I'm going to post that are considered by me to be important for young people to know. When I'm speaking of young people, I'm speaking of young adults who've moved out on their own, who no longer live with their parents. There are several things that I want to talk about, and this first session is going to be more general than some of the others. But in order to survive on your own, you have to do your very best to manage your money. And that includes trying to live on a budget, try to carpool when possible if you have roommates, try to work together to buy foods and things for the house that won't be expensive and that can be shared. The more you share expenses, the better off you'll be. There are several things that I think would be considered very wasteful, and some young people might not agree with me, but just a few things I want to mention. I think that cigarette smoking is one thing that results in spending a lot of unnecessary money. Cigarettes are very expensive nowadays. Back when I used to smoke, which I haven't had a cigarette in about 31 years, cigarettes when I was in the military were 21 cents a pack, $2.10 for a carton. I know they're far more than that per pack now. So, and then there's legislation that's pending that would raise the price of cigarettes $1. That'd be $1 more in taxes. So cigarettes are getting more and more expensive. And as we know from research that and from reports of people who do smoke, it definitely does cause medical problems. So my advice is to not use tobacco products, not smoke cigarettes for sure. And if you do your best to try to quit. You know, there are ways to quit that are not too difficult. When I decided to quit, I just quit. But some people may have a little more trouble quitting than that. But that's one thing. Avoid cigarettes or try to quit if you do smoke. Another thing is purchasing alcohol. I understand that many people enjoy social drinking, but if you could avoid abusive drinking, avoid drinking every day or in excess, and maybe reserve any kind of social drinking for the weekend. That would save a lot of money. And try to do the entertaining at home rather than going out. When you go out to places, alcoholic drinks are very expensive. Another thing is the use of any illegal substances. I think that's something that you should definitely avoid. Nowadays, most places of employment require drug screening. They usually require pre-employment drug screening and then also random drug screens. So I've known at least two people, possibly more if I knew the whole truth, two people who lost their jobs because of having a bad drug screening, and when they were told to go have a random drug screening. One guy lost his job after having it for 15 years. Some people may think they can get around it, or they know something to do to beat the system, but it doesn't always work out. It's just not worth the risk. The little bit of enjoyment from using marijuana is really not worth losing a job over. And of course, other drugs too, but primarily young people are using marijuana. But hopefully, if someone could see or try to determine what's better, to have a little brief few minutes of enjoyment, or to keep a job. So, I think the answer is pretty clear. But anyway, what I'm going to do, I have several of these sessions. This is the first of several sessions. I don't know how many I'm going to do yet, but I want you to just really consider what I'm saying. You may think that you don't want to hear something that I have to say, but be open-minded, and consider that someone who's 1 week away from 60 years old might have some wisdom, might have some experience that is important for someone else to listen to. But for now, I'm signing off, and I'll be back on with another message in the near future. Thank you very much for listening.